to sing.
What's up, guys? Trey Clark here, and I've got my Australian hat on. So we are coming to you live from down the land down under.
Yeah.
Isn't that right, Bethy?
Good day, mate.
Good day, mate. And we will be speaking with total Aussie accents the entire time here.
Oh, Trey, it'll be a lovely time.
So I'm with my Sheila, Bethy Clark.
Bethy Clark.
I can't do that the whole time.
No, but when you slip into it, though, it's one of the best accents.
Oh, you want to tell the story about when we went to a nudie bar?
Oh, this was a treat.
This is a goat story right here.
This is a goat story. This was one of those magical evenings that turned into we're at a bar. We're at the bar at a ladies who dance on the pole place. Very upscale though.
We went there.
Yes, we went there, and we are dressed like Australians. Trey's got on his Australian hat, and he and I just started talking to each other and thinking, how funny would that be if we convinced them all that Trey was from Australia? And so we're sitting there at the bar and talking to the bartender, and there's a couple of other patrons there.
They're called strippers. Ladies of the night.
And so what we did is Trey and I both were commenting and said very loudly, wow, Trey, you can't even hear your Australian accent. Your American accent is so good.
Basically, I said to one of the bartenders next to the strippers, and we've only been once, maybe twice. So it's not like a thing we do, but we were feeling a little randy,
right?
And thought, why not go get a steak and some shrimp? But and we haven't been back. It's not a thing.
No.
For the record.
No,
it's not. So I was just talking to the bartender, and I go, I bet you can't even tell I'm from Australia, can I? Beth, what do you think I sound like? And she goes, I can't tell. And she said, no, your accent sounds like you're from right here in Texas. I was like, oh, finally. And so I actually pulled off convincing someone I was from another country, not speaking with the particular accent. And that was a goat move.
That was
I hate to tell you.
greatest of all time. That was a goat move. That was so much fun.
And then we ate some steak and shrimp.
Yes.
And then we went home.
A little surf and
we walked out without spending $100.
Yeah.
Which is not how you're supposed to spend your times in the titty bar.
Yeah. Right.
The only reason we're doing this tonight is we got into a conversation. If you've been paying attention to the news, some people give a shit, some people don't. And I certainly don't expect anyone to give a shit about anything because I'm just speaking my mind about it. But I'm a conservative, and I don't want to say I'm a Trump guy, but I definitely voted for him, and instead of Kamala, whatever. But the one thing about this Hunter Biden thing, I want you to think about yourself. If you've worked your way all the way up to president, and you have the opportunity to pardon your son, are you definitely, just for the sake of being righteous, which you've had to break every rule in the book just to get to that level,
Yeah.
are you really expecting someone to not pardon their son? And they are close, and he did lose another son, and his daughter is estranged, and Joe Biden's still a human being, and he did serve 4 years as our president. And I know that's an unpopular thing for a conservative to say, but if Why don't you tell me what you think about it first?
It's kind of like family first. When you think of God, family, and country, but I don't know. There's something about just it's your son. It's your son. You have the power. You have the power to mercy, show mercy to what do you say when you just tap somebody on the shoulder and you're like, I forgive you, or I absolve you of this. You are pardoned. You are, and I don't know. There's something about it, the mercy, and I don't know the family.
Think about the crimes, okay? And yes, would some of us go to prison for the exact same crimes? Of course we would.
Right. I mean, I wouldn't be able to get pardoned.
Right. But also, these are not violent crimes, okay?
Right.
These are drug use. He purchased a pistol. It's not like he whipped anybody with it or pulled it on anyone. And I'm not defending the actions. I'm just saying this high horse that the Republican Party is on right now doesn't need to be there because he is the president.
Yeah.
And think about all the stuff that has to go into taking someone who has 0% experience, right? 0% experience shoved into a table at the Ukraine, and Papa Bear's saying, I want my cut, and you have they know he's a drug addict, okay? They already know this. And so they shove him into this honeypot deal. And in all honesty, I feel sorry for Hunter because they could have just given him money and said, stay close to home and don't get into any trouble. And the reality is too that if he gets into any trouble going forward, there's nobody there to pardon him. But and I'm not easy on crime. It's just I don't know. You understand what I'm saying? As far as just him being the president's son,
yeah,
shoved into this situation that I couldn't imagine being in, and then saying, by the way, we know all these horrible things about you, and by the way, you're going to have more money than you'll ever be able to spend, and that wasn't actually true, but and by the way, just stay out of trouble. I mean, I think it was a honeypot situation for Hunter to find himself in, and I don't know, man. I think it was kind of like. I think it's a shitty deal that they had Joe Biden run, even on the table as an old man.
Yeah.
Just like he had.
I agree with that. I just got to jump in here with the Hunter, yeah, he committed crimes and that is not good. And I'm not even going to justify any type of crime, but I will make a mention that addicts being addicted to substances, alcohol, any kind of addiction, needs help. That person needs help. And I wish he would have gotten some help. But
he did get help. I mean, he had been in and out of rehabs and stuff like that.
Sure.
I'm not claiming that he has the utter right, like that it would be virtuous to grant him immunity, but there's being realistic and not.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Put yourself in Joe Biden's shoes. If you were Joe and that was your son, you're the dad, that is your son, he effed up, he did not do the right things, but what would you do?
I would pardon my son.
I would pardon my son. Okay, now let's take this example.
There's no violent crimes here. Okay?
Right.
There's no violent crimes. There's no assault. There's no battery. There's no anything other than drug use and just misbehaving. He's
hurting himself. But let's take that. Okay, so if you were Joe Biden, you'd pardon your son. Now, I have a very strong stance on illegal immigration. But if you were a refugee if you were an illegal immigrant and you needed or you wanted a better life for yourself and you saw the opportunity to be smuggled into the United States and take a chance to have a better life, would you do it?
Okay, the question is, would I do it if I was on the other side of the fence?
Yeah.
Would I invite them if I was on this side of the fence? That's the problem I have. It's not that I can't find empathy with people that have a hard go at it from where they live. Of course I can. I mean, I've been to Mexico. I've been to the Dominican. I've been to Jamaica.
Right.
You know, I see how people live in places where white people walk around with all kinds of money and go to these resorts that they only dream of, you know, being able to even stay a night in, making pennies on the dollar. I get that part, but the part that I don't get is the idea that we're going to use them to create a voting bloc. That's where I have a huge problem.
Oh, yeah.
And to say, and to invite them to make that trek across the desert, and, you know, and to make it possible to do trafficking for humans. And there's no part of me that hates the other side of it, but I do hate our side of it because we invite it.
Well, I think the correlation between Joe Biden and the immigrant is the same, because if we were in those shoes, that's what we'd do.
No, Joe Biden, in my opinion, Joe Biden is the president of the United States of America. You get a few shortcuts of just to go, all right, my son bought a gun and he committed some tax issues and did some drugs. Did he kill anyone? No. Did he beat someone upside the head? No. And it's not a fun thing to entertain, but it does creep into my thought process to go, you know, he's the president's son. You know, is it great? No. But he got thrown into that. I guarantee you there was a conversation that someone had with him and said, yes, you will do this and you will do what you're told and you will toe the Biden line. And you know what I'm saying? It's like,
yeah,
you will do these things. And what's he going to do? Say, nope, I'm good. And, you know, we'll pay you $50,000 a month. You're going to give half to me, you know, or $100,000 a month. And there's just something different about it being the president's son.
Yeah.
And I would not be saying this if he brutally raped someone or shot someone or was actively running drugs through a violent, you know, corral or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with you.
You see what I'm saying?
No, I totally agree with you.
It's not that I think it's right. It's just that, come on, we have other things to get to. And if he wants to break the law again, then, you know, no one could pardon him going forward unless someone on the right decides to.
Well, I just know that if I were a dad and I had the opportunity to save my son, I would save my son.
I fully agree. And why don't you leave a link, or I'll leave a link in the comments below. And why don't you let us know what you think? Make sure you hit like and subscribe on our video here. And y'all have a great day. This is Truth Dookie with Trey and Beth.
tread not to sing.